Sports Entertainment and the University Interscholastic League present the Texas 5A Division I High School Football State Championship. Today's game features the Plano Wildcats versus the Katy Tigers. Kyle Field and College Station plays host to Texas A&M, and while there are a lot of rabid Texas Aggie football fans, you don't have to be a follower of Texas A&M to be excited about high school football and the game that takes place here today in Aggie Land. Hello again, everyone. I'm Craig Way. We're happy to have you with us here on Home Sports Entertainment. The 5A Division I title round, that's the bigger of the two 5A state championship brackets. Plano against Katy. Yes, it is tradition versus a test. Plano has won 6 state championships. They're going for a record-tying 7th state title today. If the Wildcats attain that goal, they will match Brownwood's all-time state championship record of 7 state titles. Katy has won but 1 state championship. That came back in 1959 at the Class 1A level. But these are two very talented teams, and as we introduce you to the gentlemen who will be calling today's action, Kevin Eschenfelder and Ed Biles. Kevin, while a lot of emphasis is focused on the tradition versus the test and the fact that Plano might be a slight favorite because of the experience in this big game, Katy certainly is not without talent of its own.
Oh, no question about it. Katy, a very talented football team, but they're going against a Plano team that knows how to win. They know how to win in the playoffs, and they win with the option. A very good quarterback in Scooter Asel and a 1,000-yard rusher in Derek Williams.
They really have. The one thing about them with the option, they just don't run the traditional option. They run the option in 7 different ways. They'll run the dive option. They'll run a counter option. They have different ways, so many different ways that Katy will have to stop that option play.
Katy lost the first week of the season. They haven't lost since. 13 in a row for the Katy Tigers, most of that due to a 2,400-yard plus rusher in Bill Yatzlaw.
Yeah, he's a great running back, great high school running back. He uses the seams. He uses his blockers. He has great vision. He has outstanding moves. He's averaging better than 6 yards per carry. Plano has to stop him.
One of the fun matchups to watch, probably one of the best defensive lines in the state of Texas going against one of the best offensive lines in the state of Texas. And a key matchup, Kobe Pate on the defensive side for Plano going against Carlos Rocha for Katy.
Well, fans can just take a good look at this matchup because you're looking at Pate and Rocha. You're talking about 2 great prospects from a college standpoint, 285, 230. They'll be going off against each other. The one that wins that battle, that controls the line of scrimmage, will be the team that will probably win this football game today.
All right, it should be a fun one. Let's go back down to Craig Way. Craig?
All right, thank you, Kevin. The fans are excited. They're ready for a state championship run. Wildcats versus Tigers, maroon and white versus red and white. It's 2 great cats, Plano and Katy, for the 5A Division I title game coming up next on HSE. Today's Texas 5A High School State Championship game is brought to you by Alamo Rent-A-Car, where all the miles are free. By Bank of America, with 240 convenient branches throughout Texas. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When you're thirsty, it's gotta be Gatorade.
We welcome you back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. A brisk December afternoon. A couple of days ago, temperatures in this part of Texas were record highs in the mid-80s. Today, we're dealing with temperatures in the low 40s with wind chills below freezing. 15-mile-an-hour wind out of the north. So a little bit different. Yesterday, Plano came out, practiced in the conditions. So they a little bit more accustomed to it maybe than Katy, but it's state championship time. All that goes out the window.
Well, you take a look at the flags down there, the way they're blowing, so it will be a factor in the ball game. Katy won the toss. They deferred their choice to the second half, so Plano elected to receive the ball, so Katy will be kicking off with the wind here in the first quarter.
Gerald Brent's the head coach in his 3rd season at Plano. His 3rd season as the head coach, 32-8-1 in the 3 years. Gerald Brent's 35 years old. Spent 11 years as an assistant at Plano. This is his 14th season with the Wildcat program.
Well, he was enthusiastic. Well, they practiced yesterday out on that field, and it was drizzling and wet, and he was so enthusiastic about the ball game and what his team has accomplished. A lot of pride in his program. Of course, on the other hand, Katy with Mike Johnston there. They've come a long way in the playoffs, 7 out of the last 9 years, but their first chance here at this big title game at the 5A level.
Mike Johnston's 13th season as the head coach of the Katy Tigers. Jeremy Ford and Greg Schmidt back deep for the Plano Wildcats, who come in 11-3. They lost their last 2 regular season games. Katy 13-1, lost the first game of the season, have not lost since. And you can see they're going to have to hold the ball on the tee. The wind is blowing that hard here in College Station.
It'll be interesting to see whether they attempt to kick it deep or whether they stay with that kind of a punch high kick.
They kick it deep, and it comes to Greg Schmidt. Schmidt across the 25-yard line out to the 27. So that is where Plano will go on offense. First down and 10 to start this 5A Division I state championship. Stewart with the tackle, and there you see Scooter Asel, 175-pound senior, a good quarterback who can run the option. The guys in the back, Derek Williams, over 1,000 yards. Spay, a couple of 100 yards rushing games in the playoffs. And usually Schmidt and Williams are the wideouts. They hand it right up the middle. Goes Derek Williams. The guys up front, Pound is the guy in the middle. He's a 210-pound senior. Then Callaghan and Stallings, the guards. Bronstad and Doman are the tackles. Not real big up front, but they get it done. On the defensive side, Orr, Chavaz, and Ottestad up front in the 3-4 for Katy. McManus, Mavis, Yonda, and Kuhn back deep, or are the linebackers for the Katy Tigers. So on second down after a gain of 3, this is John Spay. Breaks the tackle, has the 40-yard line, has a first down. Good second effort by John Spay.
John Spay's a 200-pound senior. That wasn't an option type play that they're famous for. They taken this. It's a toss pitch into the quarterback, turns, makes a pitch to Spay, and there's a missed tackle right there that could have been for a big loss. Once it got by that missed tackle, goes straight ahead and picks up the first down. First down of the ball game.
That is what Plano will do all day long. They will just run the option at you one side and the other, and they like to run it to the short side of the field. And they do. Asel cuts it up, has 5 yards out to the 45-yard line. Todd Mavis and Wade Yonda making the tackle. The defensive backs, the boundary corner is Clint Ellert, the rover Lance Walker, and 2 free safeties, Kobina Bryant and Greg Luna. There you get a good look at Scooter Asel. Doesn't throw the ball a whole lot, only 36 pass attempts, but for 368 yards. Throws 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. You know, really, Gerald Brent said we haven't had to throw the ball very much, but when he has thrown it, he's very effective. 2 weeks ago, 3 of 3 in the air for 125 yards as they go to Spay right up the middle. Now, in the option, so many times you try to open up the outside by the quick hitters on the inside, right?
Well, that's all part of the option. They'll come down the line. Sometimes he will hand it off inside as he did there. Sometimes it's based on the block of the offensive tackle, whether it's going to be an inside or outside handoff. If he doesn't see it there, he can keep it and move on down the line. The option to keep it or the option to make the pitch.
Another first down and 10. Just inside Katy territory. Plano on the move. Opening drive of the ball game. Scooter Asel cuts it up inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line again. The option effective when they string it out. McManus in to make the tackle along with Mavis.
Plano doing just exactly what they want to do right now. There's been 2 missed tackles on this drive that has hurt Katy. There's the option to go down line. He sees a little bit of opening, turns up through it, and he picks up about 7 or 8 yards on that play. And right now, Plano's doing what they want to do. Run the ball, control the clock.
So a second down and 3 after the gain of 7 yards. On the misdirection, loose football. Katy football. Tom Chavez, the nose guard, got on the ball, the 205-pound senior, and the first break of the game goes to Katy. We take a break. We're in College Station. No score. We're back in a moment. One of the bad things about an option offense is you tend to turn the ball over. That's what Plano does here.
Well, they try to run a little bit of a counter. but the exchange between the center and the quarterback wasn't clean, and then when Azel turned around, watch, he puts it low on the hips. He didn't get the ball quite in his hand right. See it coming out of his hands right there. Tries to recover it, but he puts it below the waist of Williams, and that's what created the fumble. They were trying to run a little counter play.
So Plano drove the football, but they turn it over. Katy takes over at the 44-yard line. Yatzlaw, the single setback. And they go to Yatzlaw. Big hole up front. Yatzlaw into Plano territory. Counted off at an 11-yard gain. The guys up front doing the job.
Well, that was just, they went away from the two big boys. Robertson and Rocha anticipating going to the right. They go back to the left. Just a straight handoff inside. Great hole in there. Look at the line blocking. Ratzel didn't run into anybody until he had picked up 10 yards after. Great job by Wynn and Lorsey and Mitchell, the center. 2,439 yards on the season, 6.5 yards a carry. He got 11 on first down. They try the right side. Back to the line of scrimmage, breaks away, and falls ahead for a gain of a couple when he very easily could have lost to Ryan Wally and Judge Smith in making the tackle for Plano. Well, that's what Yatzlaw does a great job of. He will break tackles. He finds a little bit of seams. There was a play that looked like he was going to be stopped for no yardage, and he found a little bit, made 3 yards out of something and had nothing there.
So from the eye, 2nd down and 5. Again, Yatzlaw fighting head near the 40-yard line. The guys up front, we said in the open, one of the best offensive lines in the state, and they are big. Rob Peters, the quarterback, 200-pound senior, an outstanding athlete. Yatzlaw, Onken, Spellins, Owen, and Pyle, the tight end. Guys up front, Wynn, Lorsey. Then you got Mitchell, and then Robertson and Roca on the right side have started 40 straight games. Peters to throw. He's sacked. They call it a fumble. There's a flag on the play. They say his arm was headed going forward.
I think they called it probably intentionally grounding, Kevin. Looked like he was in the grasp, and he just tried to throw the ball away. I think we're going to see intentional grounding.
Jeff Harris was all over him. Good call.
See him come down the line and couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to throw it or whether we wanted to run it. He thought he had a little bit of opening there, but the defensive lineman, and let me tell you something about Plano, they have an outstanding defensive end. Don't kid yourself about Jeff Harris, Fleming, and Judd Smith, and Pate. They got 3 juniors, but they are outstanding junior defensive linemen, and they're big. They're 220, 220, and 240, and Pate is 230.
So Katy will have to punt it away. Low snap, almost blocked, just got it off. And a fair catch at the 10-yard line. So a break in the action, 7:23 to go. We take a timeout from College Station, no score. $7:23 left from College Station. Almost a big play here.
Yeah, they worked on this in practice. They watched the 2 linebackers come up inside here, forcing the blocking back to take one of them. The other one comes open. That's Strain who came open up through there. They feel they got the chance to block one of these punts as the ball game wears on.
David Strain got about as close to blocking it without blocking one. So now Plano back on offense. They fumbled on their first possession, but they did move the football. They'll start it from the 10-yard line, make it the 11. Williams hit at the 15-yard line and knocked down there. Derek Williams, this is a kid who doesn't play as well in the regular season as he does in the playoffs. He has played in 9 career playoff games, and he has never rushed for less than 100 yards in those games.
Well, he's really quick, and he's tough. He doesn't have that great blazing speed, but what quickness and toughness he has, and the great pursuit by Katy that time. They're letting themselves open for possible reverse somewhere along the line.
Right up the middle, John Spay out near the 20-yard line. They're going to say he's short of the first down.
Well, this is a great matchup. The inside, the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman, again, will be the key to this football game. And that time, Katy's defensive lineman, Orr, Chavez, and Otestat, they just did a great job.
But now 3rd down and 3. Big play for the Plano offense. Derek Williams has the 1st down out to the 22-yard line. Good second effort. Wade Yon, an inside linebacker, the 185-pound junior, made the tackle, but not before Williams could pick up 5 and a 1st down.
And once again, you can see the fact that he was stopped short of a 1st down, but his great effort by his toughness. Now watch him turn up here. Right there, the tackle was missed. He breaks that tackle, falls forward, and just enough to make the 1st down.
So from the 22, they go on 1st down and 10. Asel cuts it up. You know, it's good line surge right now. Didn't look like he went a whole lot north and south, but still was able to pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Well, Asel does a great job. When he runs the option, he'll come down that line of scrimmage. If he sees a little bit of daylight, he will cut it up. He also has a tendency sometimes to go airborne, and if he gets hit when he's airborne, it's going to hurt. But normally he goes airborne, he'll pick up a couple extra yards on those plays.
Derek Williams on the sweep. Williams has a hole, has the 40-yard line. Counted off at a gain of 12, out to the 40.
The offensive line of Plano right now kind of controlling the line of scrimmage. Take a look. There's just a toss sweep. Now look at the good job that Fancher, the tight end, blocked down. He came down on that play, trying to wipe everything out. That allowed Williams to get a little leverage outside and then cut back to the inside. All set up by the block of Danny Fancher, the tight end.
Spay right up the middle. The big fullback goes for another gain of 3 yards. Guys up front, Jason Orr and Chavez in to make the stop for Katy. Tell you what, though, Plano is moving the ball on the ground. You knew what they were going to do, and that's come right at you on the ground. It's one of those situations where I can tell you what I do, but I'm going to do it so well you're not going to be able to stop it anyway.
That's exactly right. And they'll run the same plays over and over based on execution and technique.
Asel again knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Good play by Richard McManus, the outside linebacker, coming up to make a stop.
They did a good job. They tried to run him right. They ran away from the receivers that time into the so-called short sideline. You see the penetration there. Penetration is what Katy wants to do to take away the option. Now, don't think this is an obvious passing situation for Plano. 3rd down and 8. They will a lot of times still run the football.
And they're going into about a 15-mile-an-hour wind. Again, the option. Asel dragged down in the backfield. Lee Kuhn, 180-pound senior, in to make the play. A big play on 3rd down, and Plano will have to punt it away.
Well, Kuhn, one of the senior linebackers. And again, penetration. If you get penetration, makes it difficult for the option. You see, he is playing on Plano's side of the ball. That's the key to take an option away.
Yatzlaw will go deep and stand at his own 25-yard line. He awaits the kick from Jason Little. Low punt. Yatzlaw will return it. And they say he called for a fair catch, so flags are down.
But the ball hit the ground. The punt hit the ground. Once a punt hits the ground, the fair. I thought that if the ball hit the ground, that the fair catch was off.
Take a look at it. I thought so too. Fair catch is called, but the ball hits the ground.
And he alertly.
I think you're right. Tried to make something out of it. 3:22 to go, 1st quarter. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Kevin Eschenfelder, Ed Biles, and Craig Way back with you in College Station, the Division I 5A state championship in Texas. No score, 3:22 left in a game that has been kept on the ground. No question about it, and why not? Look at those numbers, 35-56 for Plano, and Katy with 35-31.
Isn't that interesting? Both teams played 14 games against different type of competition to be that close from a rushing standpoint.
And those numbers just basically because Plano has had the ball more than Katy. So from the eye, Yatzlaw dots the eye, and they pitch it to him. Out to the 29-yard line. Good pursuit by the Plano defense.
Well, take a look at the blocking combination now. What they do now, they block the tight end down, and the tackle pulled around. Roche pulled around, leading play. See number big 76? He pulled, stepped around. That's what opened up that play. Take a look. See the block down and the turnaround? To give him good position blocks on that. Roche working out on the linebacker, Wally. Eventually, Deerdorf has to come up to make the tackle.
6'5", 285 pounds. Mike Johnston said it's going to be strange next year looking out there and not seeing Rory Robertson and Carlos Rocha on the right side of that offensive line. He said, I've been looking at 68 and 76 so long. A player down there attending to him.
Well, it's amazing when you look at Rory Robertson here as 270-pounder, and of course Roche a 285-pounder side by side. You got to kind of fasten your chin strap if you're playing against that group of people.
That was Chad Deerdorf, the free safety, who made the tackle. Now let's go down to Craig Way with the Gatorade update. Craig. I got some audio problems. Craig, we'll get back to you in just a second. 3:16 to go, no score first quarter. Deerdorf goes off on his own power. So from the 28, second down and 5. This is Onken, what they call the forgotten guy. Onken, so much attention is paid to Yatzlaw that they forget about this guy, and Onken's a guy who rushed for nearly 600 yards this season.
Yeah, he's averages 5.9. But that was interesting enough because what they did, they took the Roche and piled the tight end. It almost looked like they were trying to work to the outside, like they were going to try to make a hook block to get outside of the defensive lineman, and they ran the play inside of it. Kind of a little bit of a nifty takeoff there.
We crossed the 3-minute mark in a scoreless first quarter. 5A Division I state championship game. The delay, play action. Incomplete. He was looking for Spellins coming to the sideline. But Ron Peters, a guy who can throw it. He's thrown for 1,253 yards, completing 50% of his passes. Probably, when you look at the numbers, the most impressive part of that.
Yeah, that's great coverage by Plano, though. They had that play well scouted. That was a counter play where Peters will roll out away from the flow. They bring the tight end all the way across the field. They've had great success with that play in the playoffs, but Plano was just man for man, and they were all over the play.
Now second down and 10. Yatzlaw near the 40-yard line. Looks like he doesn't get much at all, and you turn around and it's a gain of 4 yards.
Well, that's why he's such a great back. He's only about 155 yards away from being the leading rusher of all time in the greater Houston area. He passed Craig James last week, and bearing down on Moore, the fine back from Yates, who's now out of Oklahoma.
Big third down. We saw Gerald Moore a couple of years ago. What a back he was, and he's gone on to big things with Oklahoma. Peters to throw it. Well, he has a mile to run. Has the first down to the 45. Deerdorf stepping up to make the stop. Also, Matt Corrigan in on the play for the Plano Wildcats.
Well, Peters is 6'2", 200-pound quarterback. He doesn't have great speed, but he can run about a 4.6. He sees the opening, and he alertly knows what he has to get to make the first down, and that's exactly what he did, just enough to make the first down.
Heads-up play, Ryan Wally, the outside linebacker as well. Under 2 minutes to go. Yatzlaw trying that right side, has a hole. Deerdorf finally brings him down along with Ryan Fleming, but not before another gain of 12 yards.
That was extremely impressive. Now watch the right side of the line come out. Look at the blocking. Look at the hole that's in there way downfield. Wally eventually has to make the tackle.
Big afternoon already for Bill Yatzlaw. Still 90 seconds to go first quarter, and he is over 40 yards rushing on only 6 carries. Straight drop to throw. Going for the deep ball, incomplete. looking for Marshall Schroeder. The Plano faithful like their football in that part of the country, don't they?
Oh, man, the hotel last night we were staying out, all those Plano fans were there, and you talk about people having fun and being excited. Mr. and Mrs. Ansel, the quarterback, mom and dad. In fact, she was so excited. He came down here, coughed this morning. He said she's up there throwing up. She's more nervous than the players are.
So second down and 10. Yatzlaw, another gaping hole up the middle. Tell you what, Katy's offensive line is just getting the job done right now.
Well, that's what we thought. The game will be won up in front. Whichever offensive or defensive line can do the best job, that's more than likely where this game will finally wind up. And there may be a turnover, a fumble, something could be a big play. But basically, just watch the offensive and defensive line play if you want to enjoy this football game.
One turnover in this first quarter. Plano fumbled it on their opening possession. So now we go third down and 5. Peters, straight drop again, looks to throw. This one almost picked off and knocked away nicely by the cornerback, Jeremy Ford, who leads the Plano defense in interceptions.
Well, he really did. He played this ball well. Let's take a look at the snap. They're backing out. Right over to the right. He really threw into coverage. There was great coverage over there. Double up practically. Jeremy Ford read to play well. Knocked it down. Another punt for Katy.
Katy will punt it away. Randy Hollis to do the honors. High snap, but he gets it away.
He can't get away with that. He was standing in the end zone. He tried to slip that hand in there real quick like.
Nobody ever would have noticed, right? The ball comes out to the 20-yard line. Hollis was punting with about a 15-mile-an-hour wind. So that time it may have hurt him more than helped him. We're down to 25 seconds to go in what has been a scoreless first quarter. A first quarter that has just been about exclusively on the ground. Plano's not going to run it much anyway, but especially not going into this win. Not going to throw it, I should say, much. Williams, hitting the backfield nicely. Big time play by Michael Stewart.
Well, take a look at this. Now, this is what you call getting penetration, making a tackle right there, wrapping those arms around and taking him down. Great play by Stewart.
So 1 down, 3 to go. We're scoreless. The clock reads 0. The 5A Division I state championship game. We'll be back to Kyle Field in College Station in just a moment.
The battle for the Lone Star.
Glad you could be with us today here on Home Sports Entertainment, the Division I 5A State Championship game with Craig Way and Ed Biles. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Well, as promised, a couple of teams that were going to keep it on the ground, they have, and very evenly.
Yeah, they really have. Plano rushing for 59 yards in that first quarter. Katy for 57 yards in the first quarter. A couple of heavyweights just kind of slugging out a little bit. And I think the coaches up in the press box are trying to find different ways and looking for some ways to take advantage of maybe some mismatch. I think we'll see a little more wide open football this quarter.
Williams and Spey in the backfield. Behind Scooter Asel. Option, Derek Williams. 30-yard line to the 34. A gain of 14 yards. For Derek Williams, how quickly that guy can get around the corner is amazing.
Yeah, really, there was no force up there for Katy's defense. They had to go off with the receivers. They drove them up. Take a good look at the blocking up front and see how they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They forced the pitch early, but downfield, there's nobody coming up to give any support to the running game, and Williams took advantage of it.
John Spey, the fullback, out there leading the way. Now Asel cuts it up to the 42-yard line.
Apparently the adjustment that looks like Plano has found out right now, the last 2 plays, they ran into the short sideline. They've evidently felt like maybe Katy's doing something to the wide side. Now they're finding holes back to the short side. And as I said, the coaches upstairs are looking for ways and looking for the adjustments that they have to make against what the teams do defensively.
Greg Luna made the tackle. Tim Stalling, 64, clearing the way up front. Williams, midfield. Williams. He could go down to the 15-yard line. Finally knocked off his feet by Kobina Bryant, a gain of 43 yards.
And again, they ran that into the short sideline, Kevin. Evidently, the coaches upstairs found that Katy is doing something to the wide side of the field. They've run these 3 plays. This is just a toss sweep, power sweep back into the sideline. Look at the blocking downfield. Williams, over 82, did a great job leading the block downfield. And now Williams just does what he does best, run with the football.
And Katy takes a timeout. So a timeout on the field, 11-11. Plano driving. We break it. Back to College Station in just a moment.
When you're active, your body heat increases.
15 or 20 times.
You become dehydrated.
As soon as 30 minutes.
You lose fluid.
Up to 2 quarts of sweat per hour.
But more than anything else, you get thirsty. Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
Drink it.
No other beverage enters the bloodstream faster and rehydrates you better.
Chug it.
Nothing quenches a deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven.
Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
It's gotta be Gatorade.
You know, for years, folks in the Lone Star State have depended on a Ford Star. Aerostar, the roomy, dependable minivan, available for a limited time with $500 cash back. And now there's another star on the horizon, the Ford Windstar. Its front-wheel drive gives a smooth, car-like ride. Plus, you'll find dual airbags and a wide wheelbase for added safety and stability. No one offers you more minivan choices. The Ford Windstar and Aerostar, 2 shining stars in the Lone Star State.
Texas Ford and you.
'Tis the season for sports this December on HSE. The Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs take the court looking to stuff a few stockings. Ho, ho, ho. Then the college kids get a break, a fast break from winter, with the Kraft Rainbow Classic. The high schoolers prepare to jingle a few bells in the 5A championships. Next, the Arrows take a glide on the pond and plan on sending a few presents down the chimney. Unwrap a bundle of sports this December on HSE.
No score, 11-11. Watch Derek Williams go for 43 yards.
Yeah, but take a look at this. Watch the fullback. Watch the lead by number 24. Watch the block that he gets right there. Look at that great block. He does a job on the fine linebacker yonder. That's what opened that play up.
Scooter Acel down near the 10-yard line. Check it again. It was Williams going to the short side of the field. Derek Williams this season in the playoffs against Duncanville, he went for 212 yards. Against Lufkin, 101. Against Permian, he went for 124 yards. Option again. Nice play again in the backfield. Lee Kuhn, 180-pound senior.
And again now, Katy makes the adjustment. They've been running to the short side. They take a timeout. They move the linebacker over to that side. There was an overload to that side. You can see the Spay cheating up a little bit. Kuhn comes up from inside, makes the tackle. Spay again with a great block on the outside linebacker.
So 3rd down, 5 to delay to Spay. If he can get outside. Knocked off his feet inside the 5-yard line. McManus and Mavis saved a touchdown.
Well, we said earlier, 3rd down and 6 and 7 is not necessarily passing. There's a draw. Now, Spay shows a little more speed than what you might think he has. Right there, some people have got some angles on him, but he gets outside and goes forward and picks up a big 1st down for Plano.
Check it. It was 34 Lance Walker, not 44 Mavis. Spay now 5 carries, 28 yards.
When he carries it, he makes yardage. He's averaging 6.8 per carry. They just don't give the ball to him an awful lot.
Acel, touchdown Plano.
That was a great drive by Plano. They took the ball, kept it on the ground, drove it down the field, did what they wanted to do. Just an outstanding drive. Take a look. Down the line option. Acel sees a little bit of daylight, drops his shoulder, uses his strength, and takes it into the end zone.
His 12th rushing touchdown of the season. The point after is no good. Missed it left. Tim Douglas. But Scooter Acel takes it in from a couple of yards out. 9:38 to go. We've got a score. Plano leads it 6-0. Scooter Acel is 12th rushing touchdown of the season, and Plano leads it 6-0. 9:38 to go. Impressive drive, all of it on the ground.
Yeah, it really was. Take a look right down the line of scrimmage. And the impressive thing about that, the lead block by number 23, Derek Williams. Now, he only runs the ball. Watch 23. Watch the lead block. He opens it up right there, blocking on the linebacker yonder, and Acel gets it into the end zone.
That's the thing in an option. If you're not the guy when you're a running back, if you don't get the football, all of a sudden you become a lineman. You become a blocker.
Well, we've seen John Spade at 24 do a lot of lead blocking for Williams. That time Williams did a great job lead blocking. Acel was able to follow that block into the end zone for the touchdown.
Did it all on the ground. 8 plays and 80 yards. Williams, a 44-yard run was the key play. And Acel takes it in from 3 yards out.
Well, that was an impressive drive.
Yatzlaw, Onken, and Schroeder back deep. And Tim Douglas to kick it away for Plano.
Well, that missed extra point could be big somewhere along the line, Kevin.
Onken from the 20. Out to the 35-yard line where Plano will start. Now let's go down and check in with Craig Way, a Gatorade update.
Well, Kevin, one of the parts of the Plano tradition is the plain white helmet and the plain white jersey. They've had it for years when John Clark was the head coach down through Tom Kimbrough, but Gerald Brent's perhaps putting his stamp on the program a bit. Names on the back of the jersey, and right now this is jersey.
So Katy, who has moved the football as well, goes on offense. Yatzlaw. Good pursuit. John Spay, the fullback, and strained in to make the stop out at the 37-yard line.
Interesting enough, they come back after Plano takes a drive where they use the short sideline. Katy now runs the ball into the short sideline on the first play of this drive.
Katy working into the wind on this drive. Down 6-0. Snap fumbled. Yatzlaw back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The positive out of that, at least they did not lose yardage. More importantly, at least they did not lose the football.
Yeah, but the one thing that Katy does not want to get into is in these long yardage situations, he just didn't get the ball clean from the center quarterback exchange. He did recover and did get it. Yatzlaw didn't make any yards. But now they're going to be faced with a 3rd down and 6 situation.
Strain and Deerdorf in to make the stop. .8:20 on a moving clock. End around. Onken, nowhere to go. John Spay was not fooled for a moment. And Katy will have to punt.
Let's try to run a little inside reverse here where he makes a fake, like you can see the big tackle Roche pull back to the backside, but nothing there. And Plano, after a great drive, will now get the ball right back on a 3-and-out possession situation for Katy.
Low liner. Will bound at the 40-yard line, and so we take a break. 7:42 to go. Plano leading it 6-0. We come back to College Station in just a moment. Plano a 6-0 lead and the football with 7:42 remaining in the first half. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and again tomorrow evening at 6:30. You can catch all the highlights from Class A to 5A on Alamo High School Extra, hosted by our very own Craig Way. It's been a ground attack today.
Well, that's what we've been expecting. Look at that. Williams has got 140 yards rushing already. First half of the ball game. Still 7 minutes to go.
He tries it again. Pitch sweep. Down to the 45-yard line. But again, on first down, you pick up 5 yards, and you're in a great situation at 2nd down and 5.
Well, the offensive line, Stallings and Bronsted and Danny Fancher, the tight end to that right side, just doing a great job of getting off the ball into the blocks. If you take a look down the next play, just watch the line of scrimmage and watch the white jerseys right now are moving the red jerseys back off the line of scrimmage.
Plano from their own 46. Spay fights his way near midfield, falls ahead very close to a first down.
This is exactly what we just said. Take a look at the line of scrimmage, and as those white jerseys are getting into the blocks against the defensive linemen of Katy, they're moving them back a yard or two, and then the backs just need a little bit of, watch the white jerseys come off. Look at up getting into the blocks. There's a stalemate, a little bit of give by the red jerseys. There's a great lead block in there, again by Derek Williams, as you can see Spay twisting and fighting, and picks up an extra yard. It's going to be close to the first down.
They bring the chains in from across the way. First down. There's Gerald Brents. He was here a year ago, went home as a loser, losing to Converse Judson.
Well, right now, you got to give a lot of credit to Plano's offensive line. Doman and Callaghan and Tim Pound, the fine senior center. Center's usually the guy has to get up there, makes the adjustment, makes the calls.
Williams, the delayed pitch. He's down near the 40-yard line, marked out at the 42, but on another first down, a 5+ yard pickup.
Well, that was a great job by Ace LaCourbe. He had great patience. This play really wasn't there. But watch the patience that Ace had. He waits, he fakes, he waits, and now right at the last second, he put the pitch out there and made the play. His patience made that a great play.
Give him a gain of 7, brings up 2nd down and 3. Aisel again, pitches it to Spay, has the first down, 35-30, knocked out of bounds at the 31, and a marker comes in late.
Late hit, that's going to be added a penalty onto the play.
That's 15 more.
Well, Katy has got to get penetration. The only way you stop the option. Now take a look at Spade down the line. And again, Ace will wait until the right time to make the pitch. Now there's no one out there, no force out there. He has daylight and some running room. Finally, Copino has come across and knock him out of bounds, but a little bit of a late hit in there by Lee Kuhn. That puts Plano in great field position. Katy has to start getting some penetration to stop this running game.
That was very close. Spay was just a little bit out of bounds when Kuhn hit him. But from the 15, this is Williams hitting the backfield. Gets back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1. Good pursuit, though, led by Greg Luna, the free safety coming up from that spot.
And a good surge by the Katy defense here. Now watch the surge now. You see him getting upfield. See 74 getting some penetration, 34 getting some penetration. No running room, 40 getting penetration, and eventually the tackle is made. So he's running sideways a little bit now. He's going sideways, but all the while he's going sideways, you got Katy defensive players recovering.
McManus and Walker also doing a good job on that play. Aisel, a little bit of freelancing, gets him down to the 10-yard line, but it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the penetration of the Katy defensive line forced Aisel that time to go back to the side he didn't want to go to. If they'd made some tackles, that would have been a loss. They finally are starting to get to gaps and getting upfield a little bit and taking away some of that running room.
3rd down and 4 from the 10. Plano has converted on 2/3 of their 3rd downs, but not this time. Tom Chavez, the nose tackle.
Well, those last 3 plays, just all together defensively in the world, because again, you're going to see the red jerseys playing on Plano's line of the scrimmage. Now this sets up a field goal situation that this extra point can be maybe taken care of by this field goal.
Chavez, a big-time hitter at that nose tackle. Called it a try of 27 yards. Plenty of leg. No good. To the right.
Boy, that's a big miss again. 2 big misses on the kicking game from Plano's standpoint. And that really gives Katy a little bit of life now. They haven't really played well. Plano's kind of dominated the latter part of the first quarter and most of the second quarter. But with a touchdown, Katy can go ahead. Off about the kicking game. See, the first one, what he did with the first one, he hooked it quickly. This time he tried to make a little bit of adjustment, and he didn't come through. He just pushed it off to the right a little bit. And that's the best thing a coach can do. Walk up to him, give him a little confidence, a little believe in him.
So now Katy goes with a quarterback sneak. Ron Peters. Bit of a surprise there. I don't know if he mishandled the snap or what.
Katy just doesn't seem to have any consistency in having anything going from their normal running standpoint. And they're fortunate right now that they're not behind more than 6 points in the football game.
Yatzlaw, the single setback. Yatzlaw hit at the line of scrimmage, but still will go ahead for a couple. Smith hit him first. Judge Smith, 240-pound junior at that defensive tackle spot.
Well, again, we start talking about the size of some of these players. That defensive line for Plano, Colby Pate is 230-pounder, Judd Smith 240-pounder, Fleming and Harris are 220, and 3 of them will be back next year for this Plano defensive line.
4 needed. Yatzlaw has the first down and more.
Okay, what a great job in there that time. Take a look at the offensive line blocking out. Take a look at Roche. Look at Roche coming off the ball to number 76. Look at that drive block. Look at him bury. That time he buried Pate. He won the battle that time.
Now to 3.5 to go until halftime. Plano leading at 6-0.
I think there's movement in Katy's offensive line, I believe. Let's see the official signal.
She is 76.
Take a look at 76. Yeah, well, see, there's too anxious and a little bit of movement. Plano was shifting their defense, and he was going on their movement rather than concentrating on the starting count.
Carlos Rocha at 6'5", 285 pounds. When he moves, just about everybody knows about it. It's hard to hide that.
Well, he and Roberts have started 40 consecutive straight games for Katy.
So 1st and 15. Yatzlaw. Onken, a nice block out front. Deerdorf made the stop, but just like Plano, the fullback really leading the way, John Onken on that play.
They picked up 7. And one thing that's happening so far, Yatzlaw is really not making the tackles miss like they have been in the past. They're down the line. There's good line blocking. See the lead. See the hole in the opening? Now it's a one-on-one situation. Deerdorf makes that tackle. If he misses it, it's a big gainer.
Peters a long count. Goes up top, has a man, Marshall Schroeder. And there's a big play for Katy. Down to the 33-yard line, a gain of 33 yards.
And Marshall Schroeder now, he's only a sophomore. That's his 20th catch of the year, 5 of them for touchdowns. He's averaging 21 yards a catch, and it's all because the play action sets it up. They ran the play action. Schroeder, a sophomore, works his way down between the seams of the zone. A big play, and he's a big play receiver for Katy.
He had linebacker coverage that time, too.
Caught him in just what they wanted. That was a big play that Katy needed.
The delay. Peters wants to throw again, has a man wide open, down to the 10, down to the 9-yard line, goes Jeremy Schneider, the backup tight end, his 11th catch of the season.
Little counter-action play by Katy. Watch him fake the running. A little play faking, a little fake there, a little fake here. Now he rolls back to this side. All the while that he's doing that, Schneider coming across, gets himself open. He's a 190-pound senior, and that's only his 11th catch of the year. I bet this is a running play, Kevin. I don't think they can throw 3 passes in a row. They're going to take a timeout.
Plano takes the timeout. with 1:51 to go. What a huge drive this is for Katy in a game that is pretty much a half that has pretty much been dominated by Plano. You got a chance to go in with a couple of plays, and it all doesn't matter because you got a lead.
Exactly what we just said. There they were, 6-0. They missed the field goal, missed the extra point, and all of a sudden, all Katy needs is one play to get back in the football game. That's what happens sometimes when you don't put teams away, when you got things going for yourself.
Well, Ron Peters, you take a look at him. They are attending what looks like his left hand. I bet his right hand may have got a carpet burn. Oh, he pulled his thumbnail off. That's what he did, and that can affect him throwing the football. He has thrown it well on that last drive. Just depends on exactly when he did that.
Yeah, that was two well-thrown balls, and again, he was passing against the wind. We didn't think he could have that type of success throwing against the wind. That wind is pretty stout down there, and but he did a great job. Two good calls by the coaching staff also.
He is an all-district point guard. He led the district in hitting in baseball, and he is 7th in his class, in his senior class.
I would think he'll have the opportunity to go to college somewhere at somebody else's expense.
I believe so. 6-0 Plano leads it, second quarter, 1:51 to play, but Katy driving. First and goal from the 9. Long count again. Yatzlaw cuts back to the 6-yard line. Again, Judd Smith making the stop for Plano along with Kobe Pate.
A little slow developing play. Took too long for this play to develop. You got to run him, get into the blind. Yatzlaw's looking for daylight. There's just not much daylight right there. Now he's got to cut back. Not much there. Yatzlaw's had the ball 13 carries for 68 yards.
From the 6. Fighting near the goal line, down to the 2 goes Yatzlaw.
Wow, is this a big third down play coming up for both teams? Obviously, Katy trailing needs it. I think they'll take another timeout and talk things over.
Exactly right. They will call the timeout. It stops the clock with 64 seconds remaining. A good crowd on hand today. A stadium that seats in the upper 70s, so there you get a good look at it.
I'll tell you what, there's just, the lower levels are pretty well filled. There are a lot of people out here on a kind of a cold day. But they're seeing a great high school football game. Just everybody giving all the effort in the world. And, the remaining thing about this is state champions. Whatever team wins, they carry it the rest of their life. They'll remember this day. They'll be talking about it. They'll be remembered in their high school and their town. Just a great thrill to be a state champion.
Scoring in this first half came in the second quarter. Scooter Acel, Plano quarterback, on an option left, took it in from 3 yards out. That has been all the scoring. Yeah, I had a feeling this one may be a little bit of a defensive battle. You knew they were going to be tight early. But so far, Plano is taking care of business. They just haven't put the ball in the end zone or haven't been able to convert in their kicking game.
Well, it figured to be a low-scoring game because actually Katy is only giving up 10.5 points per game to their opponent, and Plano giving up 12.9. So you're looking at two teams that haven't given up many points throughout the course of the year. Some of that has to do with the fact that they control the ball offensively and use lots of time off the clock.
1:04 on the clock.
It's a good play-action situation, Kevin.
Full house backfield. Play action. You called it. Peters chased, gets into the end zone, a flag down, and I think this is going to be a holding.
No question. One of the receivers out there did a good job of holding. He just waited a little bit too long, and he grabbed it. He grabbed him. This will definitely be holding against Katy.
Look at Matt Corrigan. If you get a shot, number 17 had his jersey just about pulled off.
Boy, there's a big penalty and a big play. There's a play action like we thought this was probably might be. Come out of this with play. He's looked down in the end zone, right on the right side of the picture, right there. You see him grab the jersey. And the amazing thing about it, the official was a little bit slow, but he did catch it, and it was a good call by the official.
Now that's huge because you've got 57 seconds left. Back it up 10 yards. And instead of going from basically the 1-yard line, you're going from the 11, third and goal.
And you don't have much room in that end zone to work the passing attack. A lot of times they like to run those play actions and rollouts and counter action passes. Tough situation from the passing standpoint.
As you saw, Katy with 5 penalties, 42 yards. 7 yards passing. And they'll try it again here. Peters. Kobe Pate chasing him, throwing to the end zone, incomplete. Just over Jeremy Schneider's outstretched hands. And we'll see what they do on 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit in Matt Easton.
Yeah, I think they're going to be forced to go for the field goal. And unfortunately, from Katy's standpoint, they're right down there knocking on the door. And that penalty in the end zone brings it back out. You can see Peter scramble around and not much area. No threat of going deep. The defensive backs and linebackers kind of sit and squat around down the end zone. He throws into double coverage, but he was just hoping the big tight end could jump up and maybe catch it.
27-yard attempt is no good. So Plano dodges a bullet at the end of the first half. And the way this one's going with Derek Williams running the football like he has and Bill Yatzlaw running the football like he has, there's still 45 seconds left in this first half.
I think the impressive thing we're seeing right now, though, Kevin, is the fact that Katy was able to put the ball in the air for 2 big plays and got their offense going. If you get that passing game going a little bit, that might open things even more so for the running game. Remember now, Katy won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they will get the ball to start the second half.
Aisel ahead for a gain of 4.
Well, I don't think you're going to see Gerald Brents do anything at this stage of the half. He's very happy to go in ahead 6-0, talk things over.
They'll snap it one more time here in this first half.
Well, the importance of possessions. Katy had 4 possessions and Plano had 4 possessions. This is their 5th, but this is right before the half.
They're going to go up top. Aisel. Incomplete. Looking for Greg Schmidt with 11 seconds left. Broken up nicely by Cobino Bryant.
Yeah, nice play by Cobino Bryant. He was running with the receiver. One of the other players yelled, ball, ball, ball. He just turned around and knocked the play down. Take a look at this now. Watch Cobino Bryant turn his head the last second and turn around and knock it down. Couldn't quite see it, but a couple of players were yelling ball, ball, ball. At the last second, he turned that head around and knocked it down.
First pass attempt of the day for Plano, and it comes with 11 seconds left in the first half. On the delay, John Spay. And that should do it. It does. So we are through 24 minutes of football. The 5A Division I state championship. Gerald Brents, his team leading it 6-0. They scored in the second quarter as Scooter Aisel took it in from 3 yards out. Katy had a nice drive to end the game, or to end the first half, but a holding call down at the 1-yard line backed them up, forced them into a 3rd down and goal situation. They missed the field goal, been a couple of missed field goals, and a missed extra point here in this first half. Now let's go down and check in with Craig Way. Craig.
Minutes in the
Oh, we got some audio problems down on the field. Plano leading it 6-0. We're going to take a break. We're in College Station, Texas. The 5A Division I state championship game. Plano leading it by 6. We'll take a timeout. Be back to College Station in just a moment. It's 6-0, the 5A Division I state championship game. Glad to have you with us today here on Home Sports Entertainment. Kevin Eschenfelder and Ed Biles, and what has been a conservative first half, but a couple of teams, 2 of the best offensive lines I've seen on a high school level on the field at the same time I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really is, Kevin. All we need is a little mud on that field right now. It's kind of old-fashioned, knock them down, drag them out, you against me, one-on-one, hard-nosed, whatever you want to call it, type football. And it's interesting to see a game of this type, especially for the state championship.
Take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Derek Williams has been outstanding, nearly 100 yards already in the first half.
Well, he really has, and both of them have been doing a good job. Spay has done a great job of blocking in front of him. You see Derek Williams there with his moves out in the open field, but the play of the offensive line opened that up. Williams and Spade doing a great job blocking for each other on those type plays.
That was a gain of 44 yards. The only scoring so far in the first half, a 3-yard run by Scooter Aisel.
Scooter Aisel goes right through the hole, and again, watch Williams, the late blocker, gets a block on Yonda, and that allows Aisel to take it into the end zone. That next extra point is big.
Katy opened it up in the second period, I should say, and they got the ball going through the air.
Yeah, they had 2 passes. They threw one earlier to Schroeder. Now this one they come across with a counteraction pass, and they hit Snyder downfield, took the ball down to about the 6-yard line. That set up their scoring opportunity, but unfortunately they got a holding penalty on 3rd down in the end zone. They were unable to score.
Any surprises in what you've seen so far? Seems like a couple of teams that told us what they were going to do, and they've done exactly what they said they were going to.
No, I think it's about what we thought. I thought maybe Katy would have a little more rushing. You look in Plano there with 182 yards rushing, and Katy with 86. Plano 0 yards passing. That's not really surprising because they're not a passing team. Total yards 182 to 143. Maybe the fact there's only been 1 turnover, but that's the execution of 2 good high school football teams. Very few penalties. Time for possession fairly even, and we've got an even football game. Interesting football game. The adjustments that we make here at halftime, both coaches make at halftime, will show up in the 3rd quarter.
Now, that had to be a huge drive for Katy at the end of the first half. Even though they didn't stick the ball in the end zone or even come away with points for that matter, but at least they knew that they could move the football because really it was the first time they had moved the football in the first half.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Johnson is saying to them. We did move the ball, we didn't score, but we're going to come out here in the 3rd quarter. We will receive the kickoff. Let's take it, go down and score and get right back in this football game, or maybe go ahead.
And what else has to be a good feeling for Katy right now is it's been a first half that has pretty much been dominated by Plano. They've been able to do what they want to do on both sides of the football, and you turn around and look at the scoreboard and you're 1 play away from not having the lead anymore.
But that's also Plano's type football. That's exactly the type of games they play, where they dominate play, they dominate time possession. They've got some confidence now in their running game. They've moved the ball. They controlled that line of scrimmage. So I think both teams maybe are kind of optimistic in the halftime locker room.
So let's take a look at some of the possessions from the first half. Let's first start with Plano, and you see what they did there in the first half.
Yeah, they had a good drive going. They started on their own 28, and they moved the ball down to, but they did fumble that one, and of course resulted in a turnover. Next time they were forced to punt. The other time now, this was a great drive. They took the ball over their own 29-yard line. They won 8 plays. They scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. Again, they took over on the 41, went 7, and missed a field goal. 1 hook, 1 push. Then, of course, right before they had 3 plays. Doesn't really count as a time of possession because you knew they were going to run in and run the clock. So they had the ball about 4 possessions in the first half.
On the other side for Katy, they don't have as many yards of total offense as Plano does, but it's been very much more balanced. Let's take a look at their possessions. They weren't really able to really take advantage of anything either.
No, only the second possession there where they had 10 plays, they still were forced to punt. The first time, of course, they were 4 plays, then they were out. And the third time, 3 plays and out right after Plano scored that touchdown. And that was, I thought, a key situation because if Plano had gone down and scored then, I thought Katy might be in trouble. But they didn't. And then, of course, they had the 11-play drive where they missed a field goal. We've had 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point so far in this football game. Again, showing you the importance of the kicking game.
When you're playing on this level, I know you've coached on the high school level, even though it was about 60 years ago, right? But playing on this level, how much of a difference does experience make? Because you've got one team that was here a year ago, another team that has never been to a 5A state championship game.
Well, experience at any level certainly helps. I think Plano showed some of the experience earlier in the ball game where they kind of looked like they were more sure of themselves, more confident. Katy kind of not real sure because it was a new situation for them. But you're at halftime now, and Katy's been into it. All of that kind of goes by the boards right now. I think both teams will be ready for a great second half.
All right, let's go down and check in with Craig Way on the Gatorade Sideline Report.
Well, Kevin, Mike Johnston was talking to his Katy Tigers in the locker room at the half, trying to get them to focus on shutting down the option. Of course, Plano using that speed to get around in the corner. On the other hand, Gerald Brent, what you didn't hear at the end of the first half, he said the wind is really bothering his football team because they don't throw the football much, as Coach Biles was talking about, but when they do throw it, certainly the wind is hampering their effect to try to throw the football. As a result, we've got the low-scoring game you see right now at 6-0, Plano on top.
There is Gerald Brent. His team leading it 6-0. In the first half of play, with the exception of one drive, it was all Plano. But still, Katy is only 1 play away from leading in this football game. There is one of the reasons.
Well, like we said, the kicking game is extremely important, and with 2 missed field goals and 1 missed extra point, that could be a big factor down the stretch. But we've got a great half of high school football coming up. Two well-coached football teams, fundamentally sound. Either one has a tendency to beat themselves.
Mike Johnston's team has won 13 in a row. They will take the football to start here in the second half of play.
Well, you see the captains out there. Of course, the one captain for Plano is number 55, Aaron Robinson, unable to play in this ball game because of a leg injury. He did go out, captain, and of course, Katy deferred their toss, their choice at the beginning of the ball game. They now will take the ball to start the second half. Katy will also have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter.
Katy Tigers dedicated this season to the memory of Jamie Greeley. She was a cheerleader who passed away back in September of cancer. They have come very close, now 24 minutes away from a new state champion.
Boy, that Plano tradition, though, is just incredible, though. 1965, Class 2A, they beat Edna to win their first championship. And they went into 67 in Class 2A, they win. 71 in 3A, then 77 they moved up to 4A, and in 86, of course, they beat Lamarck in 5A, and Stratford in 87 for their 6th state championships.
The winningest program in Texas high school football history. Yatzlaw, Onken, and Schroeder back deep, standing at the 5-yard line. It will come to Yatzlaw out of the back of the end zone. I'll tell you what, Tim Douglas may have missed an extra point and missed a field goal in the first half, but he took out some frustrations on the ball on that one.
yeah. I think there's a little extra foot went into that one. Well, let's see what type of adjustments both teams made here in that locker room. You usually find that out in the early part of the third quarter.
So a fresh 12 on the clock, and here we go. Yatzlaw, the single setback on first down and 10 from the 20. The delay to Yatzlaw. Maybe a gain of a yard. The Plano defense was there. Ryan Fleming leading the way.
Well, the defensive linemen and linebackers stayed at home. This play was designated to go to the left. He's going to try to take it all the way back to the right side. But as you can see, look at all those white jerseys that stayed at home and made the tackle.
Gain of a yard. Second down, 9. Yatzlaw. A gain of 4 to the 25. John Spay in on the stop and had help from Colby Pate, but checked the marker down on the field.
It's like a face mask, I believe.
And that should be very close to a Katy first down. They'll tack it on at the end of the play.
Well, that's a big penalty. They come out here at the start of the third quarter. You can see the grab right there. Unintentional, but it's still a face mask, and the official spotted it. You look at the offensive line block and double team. Look at the double team. Opening up the hole straight here. Look at Roche all the way downfield. But Plano came out and stopped 2 plays there. They looked like we're going to be in a situation where they could stop Katy, but now the first down on the penalty.
Yatzlaw nearly 5 a carry. It was enough for a first down. Yatzlaw again. Colby Pate there first. Spins off. He'll be hit for a big loss, but a flag once again down. Colby Pate led the way, the 6'4", 230-pound senior.
Yeah, I think you're going to find this is holding. The referee threw that flag up there, and usually that's where the holding is. And let's take a look at Pate now. Pate, number 13, he's coming upfield this time. He wins the battle this time. Gets across the line of scrimmage and in on the tackle. Forced the play deep. And that time we show you Colby Pate winning that big battle that we've been watching all day.
And Ryan Fleming there to finish it off. So they lose 6. Second and 16 from the 24. Play action. Peters wants to throw. He'll tuck it and run. Near the first down.
He made the first down, Kevin. Well, great play by Peters to get him out of the hole.
A gain of 16 yards. You get into games like this, you go to your big-time players. Ron Peters is one of them.
Well, this again, he goes out like he's going to play action pass to the right, and he sees the hole open back to the left. He brings it back to the left, and the receivers are running downfield. Takes a while for the defensive players to recognize the run and come back, and a big first down for Katy after being 2nd and 15.
7 yards a carry for Ron Peters from the 41. Yatzlaw outside, upended near the 50-yard line. Matt Corrigan to make the stop. Let's go down and check in a Gatorade sideline update. Here's Craig White.
Well, Kevin, the Katy offensive coaches were saying this is a critical drive. They always said, Coach Biles could attest to that first drive of the second half is important. The players are trying to get their teammates fired up, and the fans who are here at Kyle Field are making a lot of noise as well.
10 minutes to play in the second, make it the third quarter. Just underway, second half. Yatzlaw near midfield. He's going to be short of a first down, a third down and short situation coming up.
Well, Yatzlaw is getting yardage, but he's really having to earn it. Plano is making him earn every yard that he gets. He doesn't give out in that open field where he had those big long gainers he's had in the past. Well, this is a big third down play here, Kevin, for both teams.
Third down and 1. Just a little over a yard needed. Has to get inside the 49-yard line is the yard to make. Onken and Yatzlaw in the eye. Yatzlaw. Second effort has the first down.
Going to be close. Going to be close. I think they're going to have to measure this. Take a look now. Look at the collision at the line of scrimmage. Look at the double team by Roche. Double teaming up pay. When you get to respect that two of them are blocking against you, I don't care how good a football player you are, you got two players working against you. Some of the other players on your team have to make those tackles.
First down. So the drive continues for Mike Johnston's Katy Tigers. A huge crowd on hand from Katy today. And making the drive up here, the roads were full of the folks in red and white.
Oh, great crowd from both schools, both cities. Great turnout. Oh, what a play action pass on first down. Might be a great call, but I don't know that the team will do it, Kevin.
81 yards for Yatzlaw. Little delay, the stutter step goes ahead maybe for a gain of 3. The interior line, Judge Smith leading the way on that one along with Ryan Fleming. Interior line doing a good job for Plano in containing the inside, tackle to tackle.
Well, there's a couple heavyweight offensive, defensive line doing a good job fighting each other. One team will gain a little bit of advantage on one play. Next play, the other team will turn right around and take that advantage away from them. Just great play up front. Watch that line.
2nd and 7. Yatzlaw goes ahead for a couple of more. Another big third down coming up.
Yep, they're getting close to being in 4-down territory going against that wind. But there's a little bit of surge that time by the offensive line. Wynn, Morrissey, Mitchell, Robertson, Roche.
They'll call it third down and 2, but it's a long 2. Yatzlaw, the single setback. They go to Yatzlaw.
Oh, nothing there. Nothing there.
No way. John Spay, the starting fullback who starts at middle linebacker, the only player on either one of these teams that starts both ways, was there to step in the hole and make the stop, and Katy will have to punt.
Well, instead of going straight ahead, he tried to slide this to the outside. Watch that, John. I tried to slide to the outside, and a great job by Spay of keeping the leverage on the play, turning it into play. Just nothing there.
Randy Hollis will have to punt into a very stiff breeze. That's about the only thing you can do with it is hit it low. It's going to be a very short punt. And Plano will have it at the 27-yard line. Only a punt of 14 yards into a 15-mile-an-hour wind. 6-0. Plano leads it. Back in a moment. Well, if you like good old-fashioned keep it on the ground football, you love this one. Plano leads it 6-0.
That's what both teams are. Look at the run. Look at the run-pass selection. Plano's only 31 runs, 1 pass. Katy, of course, with 7 passes.
So Plano in Scooter Asel on the option. A gain of 7 yards on first down. You know, we asked Gerald Brentz about throwing the football. He said it's not so much that we can't throw the football. We really haven't had to.
Well, when you're running and doing, they're doing what they want. There's a down-the-line option by Asel looking for daylight. Finally finds it and picks up 8 yards. Now, Plano, I can tell you this. Gerald Brentz has told his football team, let's go score. Get that missed extra point out of the way. If they can put points on the board now, they'll feel comfortable.
44 yards today. Asel's rushed for over 700 yards this season, but here goes to the line of scrimmage, and no more as Todd Mabus, the inside linebacker, and Jason Orr making the tackle for Katy.
Well, they still got a good chance to do this. Pick it up, though, on third down. The first down, but I think there might have been a little misplay. Oh, the back slipped. The back coming out there slipped on that play, trying to get started. That's what messed up the timing on that play. Coming down through.
Williams has the first down. That's just a great job by the right side of the offensive line.
And the other thing that Plano will do, occasionally they'll get up there and get down and run on a quick count. They ran that play on a quick count and got off. Watch how quickly they get off. Look, the lead block by Spey here now. He's the one who made the tackle, stop it. He's the lead blocker going through there to open up the hole for Williams. Did that on a quick count. Kind of caught Katy sitting back on her haunches a little bit instead of being up ready to go.
5:35 to go, third quarter. Asel pitches back Williams, past 10. Big gain again for Derek Williams. He's inside Katy territory, down to the 42-yard line. 119 yards rushing after the 19-yard pickup.
There's a great block downfield here. The great block right there. There was an excellent block in there. I believe that was number 9, Andy Spellins. But boy, did he do an outstanding block. Made an outstanding block down there. It's either him or Schmidt. One or the other. I'm not real sure. Couldn't quite pick up the jersey number. I saw the block and knew that foot made the play go.
Spey right up the middle. Inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Plano doing what they want to do here on this opening possession of the third quarter. Keep it on the ground, run it right at them, and be successful.
Well, that's exactly what they want to do. They know that if they put points on the board, now you're making Katy come from behind with needing more than one score to get the ball game. So Plano's coaching staff, I'm sure, emphasized the importance of this drive to their offensive team.
Goes without saying, when you run the ball as much as both of these teams do, time will run off the clock very quickly. Spey on the option. Gets around the corner, a gain of 12 yards. And things are clicking right now for that option offense.
Well, what a great job. The wide receivers for Plano. Ronnie Williams that time made a great block that made that play go. Wasn't so much this execution. Has to make the pitch quick. But downfield, you're going to see a block by number 82 and also an attempted block by number 19, Greg Schmidt. Receivers are doing a great job of blocking for this offensive team.
Another first down. Asel, flag down. I think you're going to get a hold. They threw it right at the feet of Doug Doman. Left tackle.
Going to be a big call. If it's a holding call, it'll set him back. And one thing that hurts running teams is plays where you got to start out with a first down and 20. Holding on defense. That's an incredible call on a running play. That's got to bring the Katy coaching staff.
I think he pointed the wrong way.
You think? I can't believe that they call holding on the defense. Katy's walking away. How can you hold on a running play defense?
They're going to explain this one again.
Let's hear this.
Yeah. This is defensive holding.
Nah, that's an incredible call. I mean,
had to be the nose tackle. Tom Chavez on Tim Pound, the center. John Spay right up the middle, down near the 10-yard line.
Well, I think you can run that back and forth all day long and kind of have a hard time figuring out what an official would call under that situation. Yeah, the ball was fumbled a little bit. There was almost a fumble on the play, and alertly, you can see the experience again. Spade did try to make something when he didn't have anything.
Again, the option to the short side. Hazel to the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Boy, Hazel, great patience, great leadership running this football team. He does have patience to find those holes. Watch him go down the line, and there really is not a lot there, but he has the patience to wait and wait and wait. Looks for the little bit of daylight, gets up through there. And right now, the white jerseys are pushing the red jerseys back off the field.
The drive started back at the 27-yard line, and it's been a methodical journey down the field so far. Hazel.
Touchdown, went airborne.
You're not kidding, he did. His second touchdown of the day, his 14th of the season.
Robert Jordan Hazel, that's his name, Robert Jordan. Got a little Jordan in him when he went up over the top of that pack, left his feet. Maybe not quite as high as Michael Jordan, but he got up and got in the end zone, made the play.
Now, do you go for 2? You got to go for 2 here.
Sure. Go for 2.
12-point game.
No reason not to go for 2.
Hazel, the option. 2-point conversion is good. Plano leads it 14-0 with 3:40 to play in the third quarter. But a very impressive drive. The opening drive for Plano here in the third. We take a break. 14-0 back to College Station in just a moment. Scooter Hazel puts the Wildcats up by 14, his second touchdown of the day.
Does a good job down the line option, just looking for daylight. Now he knows he just needs a little bit. When he sees that goal line, he gets up over the top, dove into the end zone, and 14 points for Hazel. There's the extra. This is the extra point now. Same thing, down the line option, looking for daylight, and not taking a chance on pitching the ball and making a mistake when he knew he could get it in the end zone. And that's exactly the way Coach Brent coaches the quarterbacks to run that option.
62 yards on 16 carries for Scooter Hazel.
Well, he'd come into the ball game averaging 5.6 per carry. He had 11 touchdowns. He's added to that total today. Now Katy will probably have to go to the air a little bit. They may not want to do it against this wind, but I don't think they can continue. We only got 3:40 to go here in the third quarter, and Plano uses a lot of time off the clock when they have the ball.
This one comes to Onken from the goal line. Onken tries to get outside, can't do it. Back to the 21-yard line. You say you got to go north and south, right? We take a break. 3:32 to go. Third quarter. Plano leading at 14-0. We come back to Kyle Field in just a moment. After Scooter Hazel's second touchdown run of the afternoon, Plano leads at 14-0. Let's go down and check in with Craig Way, a Gatorade update.
Well, Kevin, those Plano fans who came down from Collins County were bringing a lot of these paw prints. And they were all over the highway, whether it was I-45 or Highway 14 through Mahia. You saw what they call paws across Texas all over the highways and byways leading down to Kyle Field.
I saw the Katy fans. I'm just coming from the south. Craig coming from the north, so he saw the Plano contingency. 3:32, 14-0. Katy needs to get something going here.
Move it by the right tackle. Move it by the right tackle. Going with a long count. You gotta.
That's huge because you automatically, already in a bit of a pressing situation, you go to first down and 15.
Yeah, Katy kind of digging himself a little bit of hole in this ball game right now. You can see Plano getting confident. That drive by Plano, a lot of confidence builders. Watch your right tackle. Roche didn't hold in there. Trying to use a long starting count. Sometimes it messes up your team as it messes up much as it does the other team.
Go back to the 17-yard line. the delay, the give to Yatzlaw. He had folks waiting for him. Not a whole lot there.
Well, the thing that Plano wanted to do, and they are doing with a good degree of consistency, they are controlling the gaps. They're taking blockers on head on, but each of them knows the gap that they want to go to, so they're making it very difficult for the Katy offensive linemen to get them turned. They're playing those angles, and they're playing those gaps, and as you can see, they got 7 men stacked right up there at the line of scrimmage. There's a stumble snap. There's a big fumble.
Deerdorf kicked it, and Plano's got it. What a big break for the Wildcats.
Well, that's the second turnover of the ball game, but this is a critical one because Plano has just scored. Now they take the ball over on the 23-yard line. That Katy defense better rise to this occasion, or it could be a very long fourth quarter.
Colby Pate came away with it. Watch, it'll go off the foot of Chad Deerdorf, 21, right there. See that? Then it comes back to Colby Pate, who was underneath the tackle, underneath the pile.
Well, Peters just never got the exchange clean from the center.
Colby, you're supposed to put the helmet on before you do those headbutts.
Oh, hey, let me tell you something. He's got a little wildness in him. You know, his father's a former pro player. Hey, this guy's got a little wildness in him.
So from the 22-yard line, Scooter Asel has a 10-yard gain down to the 12. They have been unable to stop this Plano running game here in the second half.
We said the offensive line that controls the line of scrimmage. Watch the white jerseys just pushing the red jerseys back. You can see where the defensive folks are before Asel runs into any defensive player. So he just has patience, looks for that Domingue, Callaghan, Pound.
Again, right up the middle, Derek Williams. Inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line.
Katy needs a break, Kevin. If they don't get a fumble or a interception or something, they might even want to take a timeout. But they're at a critical juncture. Plano right in a position to break the game wide open. They are just coming up. They're playing with so much confidence. Their offensive folks know that the game plan that their coaches said is working. They're playing with great confidence right now.
So first and goal from the 7. Asel cuts it up. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Wade Yonda, the outside linebacker, stepped up and made a play when his team really needed it.
And the other thing you can see with Asel, he doesn't make bad judgments. Kind of looked like there was problem there, but he said, no, I don't want to make this pitch because we might get in trouble. See him coming down the line, thinking about making the pitch, but he knows there's nothing out there, so he just takes this play and says, hey, we've got another play to go. But good play by Yonda, the defensive linebacker.
Greg Luna had a hold of an ankle. Looked like a wishbone. Here we go again. Williams.
Look out, that's a walk.
Touchdown. And Plano leads it by 20.
Well, they've really taken charge here. This is just a toss sweep. Turn and pitch the ball to Williams. Going to the outside. No containment, no force. And again, there was a block downfield by one of the receivers, Schmidt and Williams. They're doing just a great job of blocking on the secondary.
Tim Douglas for the extra point, and this time he nails it. So 21-0 with 1:29 to go. Now, something to think about. 1:29 left. Katy is going to turn it around and start working with the wind in the fourth quarter. You got to look for positives when you're down here. Should open up a little bit more of the passing game. And on that drive in the second quarter, they were very effective throwing the ball. Take a look at the touchdown run.
Katy, this is just a toss pitch return. They lead down the linebacker. Watch outside here on the corner if we can see it. You can see the defensive back, Bryant, was tied up with the wide receiver making a block downfield. The wide receivers are blocking as well as any wide receivers I've ever seen in a football game, high school, college, or pro. These young men are throwing their bodies, they're throwing around, they're getting into, but that has really opened up some of the running plays.
And you can't run the option without that.
No, you can't run that. That helps, makes the option. Now, the one thing they can do with that, one of these days, of course they won't need to with this kind of lead, but you can come down and fake that block and take off. Now you got the option pass situation, but I doubt whether Plano will do that with a 21-0 lead. Katy has to get into a passing game. They cannot afford now to take time off the clock because the running game has not been that successful. It's been okay, but it hasn't been successful enough. And you know, you're only going to get the ball for maybe 3 more times in the course of this entire ball game.
So 2 touchdown runs by Scooter Acel and 1 by Derek Williams, and it's a 21-0 game. Yatzlaw, Onken, and Schroeder back deep, but a photographer's the only person who's going to get a shot at that when he kicks it 4 yards out of the back of the end zone.
And he didn't have very good hands. That photographer dropped it back there. A little fun on that sideline right now. Coaches are having fun. The players are having fun.
Still a quarter of football left to play. You know, midnight, every weekday, you can catch up with all the action that's happened around the world of sports on Press Box right here on HSE, live at midnight. If you stay up that late, which I do, a good show. So now Katy with the football. Still working against a stiff breeze here in the 3rd period. The delay, Yatzlaw gets some blocks, picks up 10, picks up 15 yards before he is knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line by Jeremy Ford.
Well, this is a must drive for Katy. They ran a draw where Yatzlaw did a great job of getting it back to the outside. I think this is almost a must drive for Katy as they got to put some points on the board.
You got to get something here because this comes down. You don't know how many times you're going to have the football after this.
Well, the way Plano's been controlling it, they'll be lucky to have it 2 or 3 more times.
Long count. Play action. Peters throws this one incomplete off the hands of Thomas Pyle. The ball was thrown to the outside rather to the inside. Pyle got caught up a little bit with David Strain.
Well, I think that's an indication of how difficult it is throwing against the wind. Trying to throw that ball against the wind. It just floated on him a little bit.
Peters 2 of 8 for 57 yards. And here comes Randy Hollis into the game. Hollis in and Ron Peters out.
Well, Peters had that little thumb where you saw his fingernail problem.
Handed to Yatzlaw. Out to the 43-yard line. You're down to 60 seconds left. A big 3rd down.
Huge 3rd down.
Again, Hollis the quarterback.
Movement.
Oh, man. You go from a 3rd down and 2 to a 3rd down and 7, and that changes the picture completely.
No question. Puts them in a passing situation. Well, Yatzlaw, after that last run, has 116 yards, and he needed 155 to become the leading rusher in the greater Houston area all time. So he still needs about 39 more yards. It's relatively unimportant right now from the standpoint of what the score is and what Katy wants to do, would like to do.
Katy has made their share of mistakes, 8 penalties, 62 yards. And Plano's only been penalized twice. Hollis straight drop to throw. Knocked away. Jeremy Ford on the coverage, and he was step for step with Corey Owens.
Well, just an excellent job defensively by Ford. Again, that's a senior with a lot of experience. He's had 3 interceptions. Hollis does a good job of throwing that ball against the wind. That's a tough pass. He has it right on the money. But look at the play of Ford. Stride for stride, knocks it down.
You know, that's 2 times that a penalty has cost Katy dearly. He had a holding penalty back at the 1-yard line that pushed them back 10 yards. Now Williams with a chance to run this one back. Excuse me, that's Acel down to the 40-yard line. Scooter Acel, and again, it is being all Plano here in this 3rd period. They've got great field position at the 40-yard line.
Yes, they have. Great field position with a 21-point lead. He's doing everything today. What a great football game Scooter Acel is having here in his state championship play. Look at the little moves there. Almost like he's running the option and looking for daylight. Sets his team up in great field position.
1-yard net on that punt after a 20-yard punt, a 19-yard return. Williams on the misdirection. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, where Richard McManus made the tackle.
Well, Williams does a good job running the counter play, but the offensive line, again, pulling, coming back through there. A lot of heroes right now for Plano. Asa with a great game. Williams with a great game. Fancher, the tight end, doing a great blocking job.
That is the end of the third quarter, 21-0. Plano leading it. We'll be back for the fourth quarter of play in just a moment. Plano Wildcats 12 minutes away from a state championship on the Division I level. Gerald Brent's in his third season. He was here a year ago, turned back by Converse Judson. Katy making their first trip to a state title game since 1959. And here they go to Derek Williams. To the 30, Williams, a nifty move inside the 25, down to the 21-yard line. Great lateral movement by the running back.
Well, that's just a great job of blocking again. Opening up those holes. What a job by the center, Tim Pound. Take a look. There's a look. See, this is a counter play. Look like they're going one way. They come back the other way. The blockers leading up through there. Look at number 60. Doming open the hole up for Williams. He uses his blockers wisely.
And right up the middle they go. Right now, 18 carries, 151 yards for Derek Williams.
Having a great ball game. And Asel's doing a great job of using it. The coach is doing a great job of mixing up plays. Everything is clicking. Offense, defense. A couple of miscues early in the kicking game, but other than that, it's been almost a perfect game by Plano.
Here goes Derek Williams again. Slipped down to the line of scrimmage, trying to make his move. And credit to Lee Kuhn for the tackle.
Take a look at the lead block now. Asel with the pitch. Pate inside, doing his blocking in there. You can see number 60, that's Doming, doing his job. Offensive line playing well.
Third down, Asel turns the corner. He's short of the first down. I think it's a moot point at this juncture, because really you go for it on fourth down, you're definitely in four-down situation.
Yeah, and then we keep talking about this, but you know, instead of concentrating on the ball handling, you folks are watching, just take a look at how the white jerseys are pushing the red jerseys back off the line of scrimmage.
And that'll give you an idea how the wind's blowing today too. The ball just sitting on the field and just takes off like that.
Yeah, 4th and 5. I don't think we'll see a pass.
A must-stop situation for Katy. Asel
didn't make. I don't think
he made it.
Depends on the spot.
Eric Wright, backup defensive tackle, making the stop. Number 45, 205-pound junior.
Gonna be close there. Look at the surge. Look at those jerseys coming off and getting in, and see how far. 2 yards back, and Asel again with that leap. He knew how far he had to go. This is going to be close. He's either going to make it by half the length of the football or miss it by half the length, but he knew exactly what yardage he needed.
Katy ball.
That was close.
You were right. Was short by about an inch. And now Katy, there is no question. They've got to do something with it here. We're going to take a timeout. 9:53 to go. Plano in control, 21-0. Plano leading it by 21-0. 9:53 to go. Kevin Eschenfelder and Ed Biles up top. Craig Way is on the sideline. What's going on, Craig?
Well, Kevin, right now the Katy Tigers know that with 9:53 remaining, they've got to pass, and for want of something better to do, pass the football.
No question about it. He will air it out now. Ron Peters will see who's in quarterback. Is it Peters? It is. And last possession, Randy Hollis came in and backed Peters up. They're down 21. Incomplete. But Marshall Schroeder, a good job laying out for it, but couldn't haul it in.
It's like Peters has got some wrapping on his hand there.
You know, I think it goes back to...
Well, that's on his guy's left hand wrapped pretty good. And he might even...
He tore his thumbnail off a little earlier, but that really doesn't look like it has anything to do with his thumb. So second down and 10 from the 12. Yatzlaw dots the I. Onken, the fullback. Behind Peters on the delay. Here's Yatzlaw. Chased by Judge Smith. Knocked down after a gain of 5 or 6 yards. Ryan Wally also in on the stop for Plano.
Yeah, just a draw play. We give him 5 or 6 on the play, but the clock continues to run when you run plays like that, and the clock is really a foe of Katy.
27 carries, 121 yards. Now third down and 5 from the 17. Bill Yatzlaw starting to compile some big numbers. Peters on the rollout.
Nothing there.
You're not kidding. Well, the defense was there in the person of Jeff Harris, one of those juniors on the defensive line that we talked about. Folks, he'll be back next year.
Jeff Harris may be one of the most unsung players on that defensive unit. He's good. He keeps leverage, plays his position, uses his hands well, slides down the line of scrimmage. Look at that athletic ability he showed you right there. Great play by Jeff Harris.
And probably got held on the play as well and still made the play.
Well, he's done a great job using his leverage.
So Hollis will come in to punt it away. And again, Plano should come away with great field position. Deardorff down to the 46-yard line. So 8:16 to go, and here in College Station, Plano leading at 21-0. We're back to College Station, Texas in just a moment. They like what they have seen so far. Plano up 21-0, 8 minutes, 16 seconds away from the 1994 5A Division I state championship. First and 10, Plano. From the 45, John Spay hurdles the line of scrimmage down to the 41-yard line. A reminder, next Saturday at noon, it will be John Tyler taking on the winner of Austin Westlake and Galveston Ball, who play tonight at the Astrodome. We'll have it for you live at 12 noon next Saturday. Site to be determined.
Could very well be back here next week.
Could very well be. Again, the clock moving. 7:40 on a rolling clock, and they hand it to John Spay right up the middle. We'll check the mark. He's very close to a first down.
Just a quick, almost a quick draw type play up the middle. Right back, the handoff, quick inside play, and again, Williams sticking that nose in there, doing a good job of lead blocking for Spay. Boy, they complement each other, Williams and Spay.
Was there been a difference here in the second half as opposed to the first half, the way Plano has just dominated the line of scrimmage? No question they didn't really dominate it as much in the first half, but are they doing anything differently?
No, I don't think they're doing anything different. I think, again, the confidence factor, I think they've realized at halftime that they could kind of control the line of scrimmage. Confidence is an amazing factor in athletics. The confidence you just seem to be oozing and building. You can see it almost like gaining momentum, like the old snowball rolling downhill, picking up more snow. And it's just, you can just see it oozing out. You can see the other team obviously now knows that, hey, we're in deep trouble, and they're not playing with quite the same intensity.
The first down as the clock continues to roll. And Plano is going to keep it between the tackles. Flag comes in at the end of the play. That's one way to stop the clock.
Well, that's the one way to stop the drive, too. Let's see what the penalty is.
There's a hold against Plano. That is only their third penalty this afternoon.
Third penalty, well, that's the way they coach it. That's what their program is. That's what it's built on. And you can see he's unhappy. He's ahead 21-0. He's unhappy with one of his players making a mistake of that type. He runs a well-disciplined program. They do a great job. They got a great program.
Clock moves under 7 minutes. And now Plano calls a timeout.
I think they were in danger of the 25-second clock expiring, and they didn't want to make another penalty. The coach might have really got upset.
And we're going to take a break. Just under 7 minutes left. 5A Division I championship. We'll be back to College Station in a moment. With Ed Biles and Craig Way, I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. We welcome you back to Kyle Field. 5A Division I state championship game. 6 minutes, 57 seconds away from Plano winning their 7th state championship. John Spay down to the 40-yard line. Great distribution on the part of Plano.
Oh, no question. Spay, 15 carries, 75 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. Ace the quarterback, 20 carries for 81 yards, averaging 4.1. And, of course, Derek Williams, 19 carries for 152, 8 yards a carry, spreading things around. They've done what they wanted to do. They came in with their game plan, and they've executed it.
And the clock continues to move. Now another marker down. Now, you know, I think Plano's had a couple of penalties here. They're starting to get out of what's gotten them to doing, which I know you got to run. I know you have to take more time, run a little time off the clock, but you see they really kind of broken what they've been doing to be successful so far.
Well, their concentration level right now isn't quite the same as it was with the same type of intensity. You're going to see a couple different players in there from a substitution standpoint. The quarterback trying to milk the clock and use it, and that will create those situations.
Here's Williams. Slips down. Let's check in with Craig Way on the Katy sideline.
Well, the Katy sideline right now is the shady side of the field, so it's a little bit cooler than the opposite side. Probably even a little cooler for these fellas right here. Now, who came up with this idea?
All of us. All of us did. We got to support our boys.
Now, do you feel comfortable right now?
Oh, yeah. As soon as we get in that end zone, we'll be warm.
We'll see. Now, that's going to be the key. Now, getting into the end zone is the key for Katy. Then maybe these guys will feel a little bit warmer.
Mind over matter. Williams. Look out. He's gone. Touchdown, Plano. 36 yards. You can put a bow on it. State championship is coming the way of Gerald Brinson Company.
Yeah, the Wildcats will pick up that 7th state championship, tying with Brownwood. Again, excellent blocking. Good run by Williams. That puts him up about 188 yards for the day. The celebration begins in Plano.
Douglas to make it a 28-point game, and he does. 5:26 to go. The capper put on by Derek Williams, his 2nd touchdown run of the day. This one good for 42 yards. He's had big plays on the afternoon, and watch him go again.
And look at the line pull out. Take a look there now. You can see the offensive lineman pulling out, leading the play downfield, making the block, open up the holes. And this is just a foot race now. Attempted tackle made in there by Lance Walker, who plays the rover position to the strong safety position, but Williams eludes that, takes it in. The senior has had a great postseason for Plano. Look at that, 21 carries, 197 yards. 9 yards a carry. That'll win you a lot of football games. You got a back average of 9 yards a carry. Now Katy's got to regroup a little bit. They don't need to be completely embarrassed. They've had a great season, 13-1 coming into this. They don't want to have to go away with their heads down. Nice thing could happen to them if they take a little drive here and maybe put 7 points up on the scoreboard and have a little satisfaction. They worked hard to get this far, and go out with their heads up.
Nothing to be ashamed of off a season like this, 13-1. A lot of schools would be lucky to win 13 games in 2 seasons. Yatzlaw from the 20. Out to the 40. Yatzlaw to midfield, so Katy's got something to start with here with 4:15. And really for the first time on the kicking team today, they took the ball north and south.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They set themselves up in good position, and really one of the few times they've had a good field position to start a drive. But they have to put the ball up in the air, and that's really not that's what they like to do anyway.
A return of 34 yards, nose of the football inside Plano territory. Peters, straight drop to throw. Incomplete. Looking for Thomas Pyle, the tight end.
Pyle's a junior. He'll be back for him next year. Also, Brandon Mitchell, the center. He'll be a returning letterman for Katy. And their quick tackle, Robert Wynn, another underclassman that'll be back next year. Andy Spellin's a wide receiver. So they got some folks out there who are getting valuable playoff experience.
3 wide receivers on 2nd down and 10. Again, Peters throws this one incomplete. Off the hand of Corey Owens, the H-back, almost intercepted by Jeremy Ford.
Well, this is obviously the most tough time to pass is when your opponents know you have to do it. Defensive linemen can kind of take off and go after him. Goes off that front foot. Really tight spiral. Almost in there, but again, there wasn't much of an opening. Plano dropping back, playing those zones, breaking on the ball.
Corey Owens has been very quiet today. Second leading receiver on this team, came in with 15 catches, but at 19 yards a catch, you know he's a big play type of receiver, and he hasn't been able to come up with a reception today. Peters hit as he throws. This one a jump ball into the end zone.
Well, Peters was anticipating the receiver going deep. The receiver ran it out. And of course, again, that's what happens in these situations. The touchdown that they didn't get right before half hurt Katy. They got the holding. They were down the 1-yard line. They got the holding penalty in the end zone, and they put them back and made it 3rd down and 10, and then they missed a field goal. That was a big, as it turns out, I think a big play in the ballgame. They got on the board down. They really could have went ahead in the game.
Randy Hollis will punt it away with 5 minutes left on the 4th down and 10.
4 punts and 1 turnover by a fumble in the second half of the football game.
Hollis a good leg into this one. And Deerdorf stumbled, got away from it. The touchback will come back out to the 20-yard line with 4:51 to play. So the celebrating can start in the Metroplex. I guarantee you he won't celebrate until it's all over.
No.
And Gerald Brents told me yesterday a big part of this team is not here today, and he feels terrible about it. Number 44, Chris Catoni, had an appendectomy on Wednesday. He's doing fine up in the Metroplex. But to play all season long and come up the day before, a couple days before the state championship game, he said that they will miss him and really feel for the young man. But they're thinking about him, and they're going to be bringing home a state championship as they lead it 28-0.
Well, you're going to see some substitutions out. Coming in and out. Jerseys haven't been in there before.
Spay comes out of the game. Williams will stay in. Asel on the keeper. Will take it up to the 25-yard line. And now here come the substitution.
Well, Brandon Oakley's in there. That's a strong guard. Just getting his players in. That backup offensive line gets some playing in there. Lance and I believe Jay Clem might be in there right now. Ricky Brennis is a wide receiver in the ball game.
Asel stays in at running back. And Spay across the 25, out to the 27-yard line.
Brandon Kaysen was in there, running back, wide receiver. A lot of different jerseys for Plano, and they're getting a chance in the ball game.
And a timeout taken by the Katy Tigers. Let's talk a little bit about what Katy has done. A team that not a whole lot of people expected a whole lot out of these Katy Tigers. They lose the first game of the season to Klein, 23-15, and they go on to win 13 straight games. And in doing that, you know, few running backs come along like Bill Yatzlaw. You know, remains to be seen where he goes from here, but this is one of those guys that when it comes to high school football, he'll go down as one of the greatest, without a doubt having one of the greatest seasons ever.
Yeah, they played two good football teams. Hey, in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, they beat Beaumont Westbrook 31-28, and then went to semis and beat Converse Judson 42-19. You talk about two fine programs and two great wins in the playoffs they had this year.
So Plano on 4th down and 2 is going to be forced to punt it away. A reminder, coming up next week at noon, next Saturday, John Tyler taking on the winner of the Galveston Ball Austin Westlake game. Next Saturday at noon, the Division II High School Championship game. And you're headed down to Houston right after this one to do the Westlake Galveston Ball game tonight on the radio. So you'll get a good look at one of those teams.
I think we'll have a replay of the Plano East John Tyler ball game?
I don't think you'll ever see a repeat of that one. Never again. You can watch a lot of football before you'll ever see that.
And that's the first punt of the second half for Plano. So as things stand right now, they punted once in the first half of the ball game and one time here in the second half. And that punt comes with 3:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. They had put points on the board.
Okay, thanks, guys.
3 out of the 4 previous times they had the ball in the second half.
Now at 28-0, Bill Yatzlaw is 34 yards away from becoming the Greater Houston area's all-time leading rusher, surpassing Craig James. Do you take that into consideration? Nope. You go ahead and throw the football and try to get in the end zone. Peters flushed out. He'll go down. A gain of 6 yards on the play out near midfield out to the 47.
Kevin, I don't believe that the coaching staff is, you know, when you're coaching during the course of a game, you really aren't thinking of records and et cetera. You're just not aware of those factors, and I doubt whether he'll get the opportunity to do it.
No huddle. Straight drop. Peters is no one open. Now he'll throw it. Incomplete.
Jeremiah Slider dropped that one right in his hands, and Plano right now just kind of sitting back in a prevent type defense. They got 3 linemen, 5 people underneath, and 3 deep. And there's not many holes when you get into that situation, especially when you know you have to throw the ball to 5 people that just spread themselves right across the field, break on the ball, and 3 deep are sitting back there preventing the long pass. There's not many holes in it.
Clock stops with 2:43 to go. Peters up top. Incomplete. Almost picked off by Chad Deerdorf, and like you said, just back there playing center field.
The secondary for Plano has done a good job. Ford, Deerdorf, Thornton, and Corrigan, the few passes, and when they had to be alert to some surprise situations, other than a little time there in the second quarter when they completed 2 in a row, one to Schroeder and one to Snyder. Other than that, the secondary of Plano has blanketed those receivers very well.
So now it's 4th down. 5 to go for the first. Across the middle, Peters has this one complete. Andy Spellins, the 165-pound senior, that's his 7th reception of this season. Scooter Asel, in playing some safety right now, made the tackle. I'd say give him the rest of the afternoon off.
Yeah, they're trying to make some substitutions. There's a lot of players on that field right now. Still trying to get guys off. Could have snapped the ball, then they got an extra free play.
Peters guns this one incomplete. Corey Owens could not hold on.
That was a good description. He gunned that one. He threw that ball hard.
Yeah, Gerald Brents is trying to keep up with who's in, who's not, who's gotten a chance to play, who hasn't.
I think they want the shutout. I think he wants to get the shutout. I think he wants people in there a couple times. They had some players here in the last couple of plays out of position. I don't think he was too pleased with that.
play action. They throw this one underneath, complete to Onken, out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Well, he picked up the first down, though. That was a big thing there. Picked up the first down, kept the drive alive.
That's the thing about Onken. You talk about a versatile back, a guy that's really been in the shadow of Yatzlaw. Last year, in the last play of this, last game of the season, hurt his ankle. He was the fastest man on the team. Really has never been able to come back from that completely. I would say a guy that rushes for 575 yards on a season, though, is a pretty good running back, and he's also caught 15 passes this season. Again, Peters throws this one incomplete. Again, intended for Onken.
Bit of a rollout. Well, Onken, pretty good receiver, good hands, and as you said, he averaged almost 6 yards a carry coming into the ball game.
So a second down and 10 from the 20. They have to get to the 10-yard line. $28-0, Plano. They take 6-0 at halftime. 22 second half points by the Plano Wildcats. This one is complete, down inside the 10-yard line. Goes Marshall Schroeder. He is only a sophomore. He'll be around for a while.
Good rollout, looking for somebody in a hole down there. And good completion to Schroeder. Schroeder does a good job watching him work out. He does a good job of looking that ball into his hands and good concentration.
Under 2 minutes.
Better get set.
Peters looking for the timing pattern. It's not there, and he'll be sacked down at the 5-yard line. One thing about it, when he realized his primary receiver wasn't there, still made some positive yardage out of it and got to the 5.
Yeah, they probably usually, this might be their last timeout. Katy, I think, takes their last timeout.
With 97 seconds remaining, Plano leading it 28-0.
Not a minute 37.
97 seconds, which is a minute 37.
He must have been a math major.
So about as far away from that as you could possibly imagine.
Well, a lot of fun on the Wildcat side right now. Happy parents, happy players. The Katy fans are going to be disappointed, but think about it. You get to the state championship game. Unfortunately, someone wins and someone loses. It's not Katy's day. I think the prior experience has probably helped Plano a lot in this ball game. Katy, first time getting this far along in a while, and we'll get the team that was there last year. Almost a repeat. They were denied last year. A little bit of hangover desire and intensity. I think that maybe that little edge helped Plano today.
Well, they go from the 5. Second and goal. Throwing for the end zone, knocked away at the last second.
Matt Corrigan doing a good job down in there. He was in the end zone. And again, I think the defensive secondary for Plano have done a good job. Watch Corrigan close on the ball and get that hand there and knock it away. Right there, he's closing on the ball. Gets that left hand across, just the way he's been coached from a fundamental standpoint. Left hand across, right hand goes up, so there's no interference. Great play by Matt Corrigan.
Third and goal. And there is Onken. A little wraparound draw. Onken scores from 5 yards out, and we've got a 28-6 ball game with a minute 29 to play.
There it is. He goes around from behind. It's called the wraparound draw. Takes it into the end zone, and Katy gets on the scoreboard. Watch the handoff now. Watch him go behind the man, and then put it back in there. Difficult to follow.
6th touchdown of the year for Onken, and that makes it 28-7. Hey, I'd like to take time to thank Jeff Watts and his whole crew from the Extra, Peter Contreras, and the UIL, and Alan Cannon, OAC, from here at Texas A&M for all their help putting together today's telecast.
You know, UIL people are very cooperative, do a great job with the programs.
So 28-7 with 1:29 remaining. Our Bank America player of the game, we couldn't decide on just one player, but it will be Scooter Aisel and Derek Williams. Aisel 83 yards rushing, Williams 199 yards rushing, and they have combined for 4 touchdowns between the two.
Good choices. Rather than try to decide one, we have players of the game, and let's watch this onside kick. A lot of exciting onside kicks in high school football here in the last few weeks.
John Onken, who just scored the touchdown, is the designated onside kicker. Also thanks to Bank America, who sponsored the home court here in the north end zone of Kyle Field. And here we go with the onside kick. 2 rolls and a pop.
Oh, touch, just live ball.
But Plano has it. Folks from Plano have seen their share of, even though it was maybe the eastern side of Plano, they still, people in the Plano area have seen their fair share of onside kicks over the last couple of weeks. So Plano, a couple of snaps, and that will do it. And 35-year-old Gerald Brent is going to take the Plano Wildcats to the first state championship game in the Gerald Brent's years.
I believe they fumbled that snap. Lucky they didn't lose it.
Scooter Aisel, that was one more snap, a chance for him to end his career as walk off the field with the ovation. And now lots of substitutions.
Yeah.
Jason Little comes in at quarterback to take the snap.
He usually is in when they have to do some passing, but I don't think we're going to see Jason Little doing any passing right now. Ryan Pokey in there as one of the offensive linemen in there.
Lance Dingle on that last carry. We've got a
Jason Verts in the ball game. Ryan Pokey going out. Another substitution coming in.
Well, they'll count it down in the Metroplex.
The excitement on the sideline. They just put the Gatorade treatment on coaching staff. See how soaked he is. Licking up that good Gatorade, wasting that Gatorade, that kind of thing. It's good to drink.
So 20 seconds left. They will call one more timeout. And Plano is going to win a state championship for the 7th time, tying Brownwood for the most state championships in all of Texas high school football.
I tell you, it's really exciting to win a state championship. I was, as you said many years ago, Kevin, I was able to participate on a state championship team, and I'm going to tell you what, it's a great thrill. And a story, you can tell a story about Pat Thomas, who about playing in the Super Bowl games. Go ahead and speak that story. You know that.
Gerald Brents told me about it, and I'm sure he'll probably talk more about it in a moment whenever he talks with Craig Way. But Gerald Brents said when Pat Thomas was asked after the Super Bowl, after he played for the Rams, asked if this is before the game actually, if this was the biggest game he'd ever played, and he said no, winning a state championship at Plano, playing in the state championship game in Texas.
Just have a tendency to remember. You just have a tendency to remember when you play with your high school teammates and state championships and friendships that endure years and years.
Little on the keeper. And that should do it. They stop the clock, they'll reset the chains, and they will not have to snap it again.
Well, Plano's going to cap off a 12-3 season with the S5A Division I championship. The celebration begins.
And there it is.
Craig's right down there amongst that mass of humanity.
Congratulations to the Plano Wildcats. They finish at 12-3, the 1994 5A Division I state champions. Craig Way is down on the field amongst all of that humanity. I believe Craig is down there. Craig.
All right, thanks very much. We are down here with the chair and head coach, Gerald Brents. I'm going to ask you a little bit about the second half of the first half, how big it was, the win factor. And in the second half, you really took it and ran right at them with the wind at your back.
You know, in football, it's mental, emotional a lot of times. When you have the wind at your back, you just feel a lot more confident. And I thought really that the win was critical. And we had the win in the third quarter, and I knew we had to put them away when we had a chance there.
You went to Scooter Hazel. The biggest.
You know, he did a great job. And John. All the credit to
John Clark and Tom Kimbrough put their Gerald Brent stamp on the Plano program.
I don't know about all that stuff. All I know is that we got a bunch of kids that gave it. You dance back up, and we lost those last two or six.
As you can tell, it's crazy down there on the field. But Plano wins it 28-7 as Gerald Brent and company celebrate. They finish the season 12-3, the 5A Division I state champions, and congratulations as well to the Katy Tigers. They would have liked to have gone home with the win today, but they finish it at 13-2, a 13-game winning streak, and a running back named Bill Yatzlaw, who had his greatest season as anybody ever. But Plano, the victors, they get the state championship. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more from College Station in just a moment.